Hi everybody, welcome to my Antiques Chaser channel. It's nice to see in the comments I've got people who've followed me over from my other channel, and for those who haven't seen me on my other channel, I'll give you some warnings before you go over there. It's called News Decode, and it's only on YouTube, and there it's more, I'm looking at sort of alternative news. I try to look for videos, usually Citizen Journal videos that hopefully people haven't seen, hidden in the background. They're not on the dark web, but they're not easy to find either, and it's a lot different to this, I can assure you. Bit of bad language, shows some horrible things that are happening in the world, not in detail, but you know, you have to be aware of them, and hopefully some positive things about how the world's going to change for the better. So if you haven't seen me over there, great to see you here. It's brilliant to see off-grid life here, especially after I was teasing her. She said on the other channel, I'm from the Grand Canyon, so I did a little piece pretending she was actually living in the Grand Canyon, and she's an absolutely great sport, and it's great to have you on here as well. Enough of that. Let's have a look at a few antiques. Like, comment, subscribe, brilliant, any of that be absolutely fantastic, because obviously I'm still growing the challenge. It's early days. This is only video number 5. I don't get a lot of time to do them these days, but we'll keep going because I like doing these. So quick sort of update, those who may not know, I work at an antique centre. I've got an antique centre unit. I don't actually work there. I've got a unit there, and it's in Staffordshire in the UK, and I'm actually in the grain store right in front of us there. And in my last video I showed a video where I was just showing you the inside of it, just to have a look and show you where my wall unit is. Only a small one, because I don't have time to keep it stocked like I used to. I used to have a unit as big as that grain store, probably a bit bigger actually, but I physically haven't got time to keep it stocked these days. So have a look at the last video if you want to look inside. Now I'm going to start off by sort of going through things I don't like to sell. These sort of Royal Dalton, Coalport, sometime Royal Worcester female figures, they were the sort of thing that your sort of grandmother and great-grandmother had in the old days. I mean, the antique centre I used to work with, I was in a huge old cow shed. It was absolutely huge, and there was about 30 dealers in there. And I had something about the bigger than that grain store as part of mine, and there was like 29 others, huge, and loads of them were just selling these type of things. And we used to have people come in, you know, saying, have you got one called Barbara? Because they've all got names of girls on them, you know what I mean? And I can remember just going around looking at the bottom in the cabinets, trying to find a Barbara or a Joan or something, because they want to buy it for a friend or a birthday or Christmas coming up. It used to drive me nuts, but that's not the reason I don't like them. They're just not my thing. I mean, they're beautifully made. I can see the attraction of them, but I've never ever sold anything like that. These are the ones to have. I mean, there are some valuable ones. I mean, they're getting cheaper now. Sometimes you see them in charity shops, the one without the boxes and not the rare names. But because I don't like them, I haven't looked into what are the rare names. I ain't got a clue. The ones to get are the ones still in the box with the certificate of authenticity as well. That adds more value to it, obviously, than just the loose one, because most people threw the box away back in the day, didn't they? They didn't know then the box is the value. You found out the hard way. And these Dalton figurines, this balloon seller type thing, I mean, they brought out a man one, a boy one, and different versions of it. But I can remember 10, 12 years ago when I first started, these were quite rare. And, you know, they were going for like £80 or £90. So if you could actually find one at less than that, it was great. I never did it because I don't like them. But I'm sick of the sight of them. They're everywhere now. And you can get the sort of smaller little miniature ones for like £10 now. But in the bigger ones, you can get them like 20 or 30 quid, you know, a third of the price they used to be. Things like this are where the value is. Now, if I saw something like that, which is classed as a Dalton figure, even though it's a man with a bow, they didn't do all girls, that has got some huge value to it. But the best one ever is this, and it's a miniature as well. A Chelsea pensioner, they're retired, if you're not in the UK, which a lot of you are, they're retired army people. And in a place called Chelsea, they have like, when they retire, and you know, they get a bit infirm and all, you know, they've got a nice charity place where they can stay. If you can get a rare Chelsea pensioner figure with that number, it's worth nearly £400. So if I ever see one, I'd be tempted to get that if I can get it at a good price, just to give it a go. But as for the Dalton figures, not me at all. Another thing you see in every antique shop, and I bet it is where you are, these old barometers. I mean, they're well made, aren't they? I mean, they've got to fit that dial in the wood. They've got a thermometer on them sometimes. Sometimes they have other things attached to it as well. We call that a banjo one. I want to patronise, you know, because if you turn it on your side, it looks like a banjo. Right? That's why it's called a banjo one. I absolutely hate them. I've seen them a million times. I don't care if I see one at a car boot sale for 50p. I will not buy one because I don't like them. They're boring. We see these sort of versions as well. They're more modern, but they're more attractive than the banjo one, but they just don't have the value, so I don't sell them. You got these sort of ships type ones, like porthole ones as well. Yeah, I mean, that's not very old. I see the beauty of it. You can see the work in the spring. I get that, but I do not like them. That one, if I could ever find something like that, it would be very difficult for me not to buy it if the price was right. Because it's the whole thing being on that stand. You never see them, do you? It's probably not even old. It's probably made in China last Thursday. But I do like that version of it. And I'd probably buy it for myself, not to sell. And you get these older ones, these sort of stick bolt bar barometers, whatever they're called. I can see the aesthetic sort of attraction of them. But it doesn't measure air pressure. It's like, why do you need it? I don't know. It's not interesting to me, but I know people specialise in them, and the ones who know what they're talking about can make a lot of money from these things. And decanters. I can remember 12 years ago we're getting a Royal Briley Crystal ship's decanter, which is one with a flat bottom like them above me. That's a ship's decanter, because I'm patronising now, aren't I? But they call that because they've got a wide bottom, so in a ship it's not going to move around or fall over like the others. They used to sell for like 50, 60 quid easy. Now you see them in charity shops for like £3, a crystal one. So I've just gone off them, total decanters. I've got no room in my life for them, even though that square one in the middle is totally solid crystal. That's probably worth a couple £100. I just don't like them. So there's things you see all the time. I've been in the trade for 12 years. You just don't. I just go past them. I'm always looking for something just with a slight little quirk on it that I haven't seen before. Now, having said that, this is a South African stone-carved woman's head that I actually went to a car boot sale on Sunday morning this week, and I just walked past the thing, and there was one of these where it's like a woman's clear-out thing, I call it. It's got all the bric-a-brac and all stuff like that, and then that was sitting right in the middle of it. It's almost hidden away, but I saw the top of her hair, and I thought, no, it can't be. So I thought, okay, I went over, I picked it up. Stone cold, it's granite. I'll show you the video on the bottom. You can tell it's been totally hand carved, and that sort of design is made in South Africa. We all know that. So I says, how much is this? He says £1. Says £1. She says, yeah, £1. Says, I'm sick of the sight of it. Said, it's South African stone, you know. I says, yeah, I know. I says, I'll have that, thank you very much. So I took it away, and these sort of things, I don't sell them for that much in my unit. That's probably going to go on for about £25–30, because if I put it on for like the £90–100, it's going to be there for ages. You've got to wait for the right person who wants that one. But for £25–30, one of the other dealers are probably going to buy it, to be honest, because I like a quick turnover. I don't like stuff hanging around. Now, these type of ones, you can see the quality in the face of that. And then that's at an antiques auction, and it's £350. They're going to go for that. They're trying to get for that. And that is, whoever's made that is solid, proper artisan. The one above the £95 is the same sort of quality as mine, although the hair's better on mine, to be honest. And she's got a prettier face than that one. But I'm still going to sell it. I think I'm going to put it on for like 32. And then if it hasn't gone in like 2 or 3 weeks, I'll drop it down to 20, 25, something like that. But for £1, you can't walk past things like that. But it's funny when you've been in the antique trade for a long time. It just jumped off that table at me. I just saw it from like quite a way off. I thought, really? I went and got it. Luckily, nobody else had got it, because the car boot had actually been open for an hour and a half before I get there, because it opens at 6 a.m. It's pitch black. You have to go around with a torch. Someone wear these head torches, these professional. I can't be bothered with that. You know, I'm not that desperate. So I turned up about 7:30, but it was still there. I think because it was hidden behind some other things, maybe people didn't realise what it was. So I got lucky with that one. It's nice when that happens. Oh yeah, and if I ever see one of them with a baby on the back, I wouldn't sell it, I want to keep it. I absolutely love that. But that's going to be like £150–200 thing. So if I got that, I would keep it, because I want one. Oh yeah, quick video. Well, it's quite heavy for the size, and I like the fact it looks like it's had a life. I don't like them when they're perfect. You can see it's mine. You can see it's a solid piece of granite. And someone's carved that with chisels, and look how do they do it? Absolutely brilliant. So it's the sort of thing where I wish they put a name on it, or I knew who made it, because they're an artist, and it's brilliant. And I'm going to make a few quid out of it. So thanks, mate, in South Africa, wherever you are. This was from the same car boot sale. And it was on the floor on one of these blue tarpaulin things that we use in this country for car boots. I don't know why we all use blue tarpaulin, but it's like the thing. Even I've got two for when I do it. And that was just sitting in the middle of this thing, and it was like, you're having a laugh. Because I've seen these sort of things before, but I hadn't seen that exact design. But I know it's something like 1900, that is, so it's a proper antique. And it's, in case you don't know, it's a smoker's cabinet. So on the shelf inside there, you can see that round thing. The tobacco jar would go there, and then the two sort of where you can see it's missing, the two things there were two ceramic bowls would have gone there to mix it and do all the stuff that you do to mix your pipe tobacco in it. And it's got 3 drawers on it as well, the original thing. Didn't have the key for the side, which is, you know, you can't ask for everything. But I went to ask him, and I said, how much for that? He said £40. I thought, well, I'm having it. I said, will you take 30? And he went, yeah, I'll take 30, mate. And I thought, shit, I should have said 25, shouldn't I? He said 32 quid. But I got it for £30, and I know, I've seen very similar, but I found the exact model. So a smoker's cabinet, I mean, that one for £585 has got the tobacco and the bowls in it, the tobacco jar and the bowls in it. Still a lot of money for that. And I'm tempted to keep it for a few weeks while I look for a cabinet, for a jar and bowls to go in it, but the odds of finding a matching set is impossible. You can get tobacco jars off eBay all day long, but I want the matching bowl. So that might be a step too far. They've been taken out. They're probably smashed a long time ago. But it's not in 100% perfect condition. And you can't really see it from here. I haven't got the light underneath, but there's a rack across the top there to put your pipes in. Just about make it out. And that's where the jar and the bowls go. And it's got 3 well-made drawers. It's solid oak, so it's quite a heavy thing. I always have this trouble trying to open the drawer with one hand at an angle. I didn't give up. And the large drawer at the bottom. So it's all in good nick. You can see it's had a life, it's been used. And as I turn it to the side, you can see there's a hole for the key there. I have got a bag of keys. Guess what? Not one of them fit. Some of them fit the lock but won't open it, which is a bit annoying. I got excited when it clicks in, but it didn't turn. And it's got a bit of damage on the back. I could do a bodge repair and put a bit of wood in there, but leave it as it is. That's for 30 quid. That's going to go on my stall. I'm probably going to put that on. I'll start it off. I think I'll put it on for 80 to start, and then, you know, drop it down to 76 till I reach the thing where it's going to go. But for 30 quid, I'm going to double or treble my money with that easily, because that is a rare thing to see in an antique shop, because it's so good. You often see the sort of ones with 1 or 2 drawers and a smaller version, but this is tall and it's got the pipes across the top, not the side. So, and I didn't show you, but right on the front, where the 2 drawers are, on the front of the panel above that, there's actually a reg number of that. And when you look the reg number up, it comes up with 1900 smoker's cabinet. So I know it's on the cusp of being sort of Victorian or Edwardian. I'm going to call it Victorian because it sounds old, even though it might only be a year out of being Edwardian. So that's a good one to find, going around a car boot. Now, this was a different car boot that I did on Friday last week, and this is the only thing I got from there. And I was just walking around and it was all clothes and teddy bears and like knobbly knick-knack, you know, all cheap sort of house ornaments, you know what I mean? Even the furniture, there weren't really anything old or interesting there at all. And I'd sort of give up because I'd been there probably an hour, because it's a huge one. And I just walked past this thing, and he had a few old things on, were a bit broken and beaten up. Then I found there was this banana box, and it was full of crucifixes, and it had some porcelain, like religious stuff as well. And I couldn't believe my luck, because I can sell these of this age all day, because these are proper vintage ones. They're not, you know, made last week. And they're all different designs, all different sizes. And so I picked these 6 out, because a lot of them were damaged and broken, or that they were tacky, you know what I mean? You can tell they're tourist tat, you know. But these aren't tourist tat, they're made properly. And I said, how much for these 6? He said, £25. Right, I could have knocked him down, I think, but I thought, no, I'm going to have them. Because to be honest, that big crucifix on the right is probably £30 on its own. And, you know, the one on the left is probably 20, might put 25 on that as well, because it's a good one. Now, the one in the middle, what we call the Byzantine one, when I got it, I saw that damage on the bottom. Now, I know some restorer could fix that, but I can't do painting. I'm colourblind as well, so I could not match that. So what you're seeing on the middle, can you see where I've covered it? I've got a strip of leather, it's real leather, and I often use it's the red colour. It's good for patching up bits of furniture, or if you get one of these writing slopes where there's a bit missing, you can just fill it in or wherever. I actually made a strap once. It was actually for decanters, funnily enough, but there were two of them in green glass in this leather Tantalus thing. Never seen one before, but the strap was broke. And this before I started doing it. And in the auction, I think it went for I got it for about £9 because nobody else wanted to bid on it. We had a couple of bids and then they stopped. And I thought, I can fix that strap. So I got it, fixed the strap, put this red stuff around it, and sold it. It was gone the next time I went there. So it was gone. So I've stuck that on it. That isn't the finished article. As you can see, it's a bit bright. I'm going to put some wood dye on it, dark, and just make it darker. And I might scuff the edges a little bit because the top looks too straight. I might just scuff the edges just to give it the same age as that. But what a find to get these. So we'll just have a look at them each individually. I mean, the detail on that, I thought that was bronze when I picked it. It was freezing cold, but because we were on it's like 7:30 in the morning, it was cold. That's why it was cold. But I love it with the old wood. I'm going to clean it a bit. I'm not going to do the back because it looks its age. It's the thing of beauty. I'm going to take some of them marks off on the top. This one, I've never seen one of these before. I mean, it's obviously, you can see by the bottom it fitted into something, but it's fine as it is to me. So you've got your Jesus. The Imari sign at the top is not straight. I've got to glue that into place. And it's got these finials on the end of the cross. Just I haven't had time to sort of Google search these yet, which I will do. Because if I find a maker or where they're from. And that one, I don't usually buy the plastic ones, but look at that, in his hand is making that sign, and I've seen others with that sign. I need to look at what that actually means. And you can see the age of it, just the patina on the plastic. Doesn't matter about the crack. All on a beautifully aged piece of wood. Like that one. This is my Byzantine one, and as you can see, it doesn't look like a proper repair one. I only stuck that on like 10 minutes before I made this. It is stuck. That's going to be aged, so it's you can still see it, but it'll blend in more. It'll look like it's part of it. Never mind. Let's go on to the next one. And this is an interesting one as well. I mean, look at that piece of metal. Somebody's made that. Absolutely superb. I've got to find out what these markings are on the cross, because there must mean something. And again, old fitting on it. Dovetail joint to the back there. That's probably the oldest one out of all the. And this one's just totally interesting because I hadn't seen nothing like this before. So again, the sign at the top needs sticking down. He's got the halo on there, which you hardly ever see. They've got the stab mark in it. That's the detail they put on this. But then there's a skull and crossbones hammered in there. Someone's tried to pull it off because they've obviously pulled one of the arms off it. What the heck is a skull and crossbones doing on a crucifix? They're two things. I know the skull and crossbones is like a satanic thing. I think it's Knights Templar, isn't it? It's an old Knights Templar cross. Because it's ornate, and they've used rivets instead of nails again, which again shows its age. You can just tell it's old wood, yeah. There's no doubt about that. Where's it been? What is it? I can't wait to research that one. Yeah, and I need to stick that down as well, bit of glue. But all those for £25, it just goes to show you can still get a good bargain if you have a search round. And if I'm not happy with that skull and crossbones, eventually it's coming off. But at the moment it's interesting, so it's staying on. Now, something I never buy, actually I shouldn't say that, I used to collect stamps when I was young. I used to get these packets and stuff. If I still had them, they'd be worth thousands, but we lost them when we moved house from Birmingham. It's like, 50 years ago now. I always hope somebody saved them. I also had a treasure chest, tea chest full of Superman and Batman comics from 50 years ago. Don't make me cry. But these, I just thought they were interesting. I never buy stamps now, but nobody was bidding. I got for £3 from an auction. I mean, they weren't displayed like that. They were just sort of all covering each other. You can't really see it, and they were just called Middle Eastern stamps. That's all they said. They didn't put how many either. So I was quite happy when I got them, because if you just look at them in detail, you got Iraqi ones, and they're all different. This is from a collection. I don't know who these people are on it. You got an Egyptian one. Why they put lines through his face? That one's been stamped, hasn't it? And then Iran. I think that's the Shah of Iran. That was, wasn't it? When was that? Back in the 60s. A Lebanese one. And then 1956 Turkish one. And that one's from the same. So, you know, the collector's probably been doing it from. And that looks a more modern one. British and Israeli, what, Arbor Day. So something to do with trees, isn't it? 0.1. What shekels is that? I don't know. So I haven't had the time. There's some value there because of the age of them and from where they're from. And I need to Google search each one individually to see if I've got a valuable one there, or it's just a nice, interesting set. All right, I will probably put them on eBay because I don't think it's not the type of thing you can sell it on my shelves. It doesn't quite fit with that, and I wouldn't know how to display them either. But I thought for £3, let's give it a go. And I'm going to have fun finding out about them. And another thing I really buy is plates, but I had to get this one. Again, this went for, I think it was 15, which was a lot for me to spend on something at an auction. But it's actually an Imperial Arita Imari plate in perfect condition with the original label on it as well. I know you can't read it, but it's not in English, so it don't matter. So I got that £15. I mean, it's like £12 with the auction fee on it, and I already had a plate stand, so I'm going to put that up. I think I'm going to put that up for about £30 or £35. I've done my research, and that's what they're worth. So sometimes you take a chance, but it is a thing of beauty, isn't it? And that's like 100 years old, and it's still knocking around. Absolutely brilliant. Now, my last thing, this only came this morning. I won it on eBay. I'll keep selling these wherever I can find them at the right price. I will get them. And this is a Last Rites candle set, or some people call them a sick call as well. If someone's really ill, you get the priest come along. It's set up a little altar, light the candles. See, in the middle of the cross there's a holy water bottle there, and you put your holy water and sprinkle it, say prayers for people if they've gone. Obviously it's the last rites, or if they're going, if someone's really ill, you go and pray for them to get better. So it's quite a powerful thing, and the symbolism, but it's a thing of beauty because it folds down. Now, I spent on that, I got £12, £16 something with the postage, so it's nearly around about £17 for that. Right, I've sold loads of these before, and I usually sell them for between £30 and £35. I started off at 30 and it went quick, and then I put it up to 32 and it went quick, and the last one I went 35. I'm going to put this one on for about 40, right, which sort of matches that sort of one. that's going there. It's the same sort of thing. Mine's probably a bit taller than theirs, but it doesn't matter. It's still good. They haven't got the holy water bottle with that, the original one that I've got. Okay, and then this one has got the original candles with it and the holy water bottle in the original bag. So a premium for that, 50 quid. I think they probably get more than that, but they're putting it on eBay, so you know, you've got to go against other people all the time. Yeah, and he's got about the right date on the left. He's put the 50s. They're saying from before 2000. I mean, it's probably 70s, I would imagine, that one. Mine looks about 60s, 70s as well. And then you see this one, which is annoying to see because, first of all, they've got everything there. They've got the original candles. They've got 2 holy water bottles, and you can see on the left of the bottom some spare candles, plus the sick-call set. They've got the actual sort of paperwork to go with it as well. They put it in an auction in Florida. This is why I haven't got it. And look at the opening bid was 5, the current bid was 6, and then it ended. So the winner got it for $6. That is like £60, 10 times more than that I would sell that for. But obviously I couldn't bid in Florida because it's by the postage. It's going to cost that much in postage. So well done to whoever got that. But I've tried to make this video one-handed to show you how it folds down. I mean, the detail on it is great. It's metal. Got the original bottle, which goes, when you fold it down, it goes into that hole there, and there's a black stopper I've got, which I should have showed you, but I didn't, that goes in there. The candles come out. This didn't come with the candles, but because I've sold loads of these, I've got a pack of candles. So I had my 2 candles. Right, so that goes in there. Oh, I did get the bung. Oh, right. Forgot I did that. And then Jesus comes out. Now I've glued that in because that came away and it shouldn't. That is now glued in on my shelf up here. As I can prove, it's now glued in. And then Jesus slots into there. There's a screw behind his head and there's like a metal bar there, so it all slides in. And then sometimes they're wide enough for the candles to go in, but obviously this one isn't. They've gone with long for that. So I'm going to put that on. I think I'm going to go with 45 for that, just to start, because when I put them below 40, they go pretty quick. Too quick, like next time I go, 2 weeks, they've gone. So somebody's buying them, they like them, and I display it set up because I've got room on my shelf for that. And then I've got a little instruction thing I'm going to type up how to collapse it down, because sometimes it's not obvious where it is. So that's where I'm up to now with my things. There's an auction next Sunday, an online auction, where I'll be buying some other things and hopefully making video number 6 sometime next week with a bit of luck. So thank you all for listening to that. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget my News Decode channel if you haven't been over there yet and you want to be outraged, upset and hopefully inspired and have a few laughs as well. Come over there and I look forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, I'll see you here very shortly.